Everyone and welcome to the class of business study. So students, today we will start with chapter 6 and this is first video of chapter 6, that is staffing. 5 chapters we have already finished. So starting with staffing, what do you mean by staffing? When we say staffing means it comes from the root word that is staff, which is actually required. Staff means employees, the workforce, okay, human resource which is required, workers, laborers which is required to function for the activities which is to be performed in any enterprises or institutions. So surely these institution or enterprises or business or non-business activities, they require certain workforce to work for accomplishing their objectives. So for that purpose they require staff. So the meaning of staffing is, staffing means putting people to jobs. That means just assigning people or recruiting people for doing certain job at certain post. Staffing involves finding the right person. That means for this staffing function, they require to search a right person for the right job. That means for a particular job, having the right qualification. That means that right person must have a right qualification related to that right job, doing the right job at the right time, and they need to assure that he is actually doing or practically doing right task at the right time. So this is all about staffing. So it begins with human resource planning. That means the first and foremost step in staffing is, or the procedure we can say, they need to calculate, they need to estimate, or they need to assume about that how much human resource they require, how many employees they require. So they need to plan out the things and includes different other functions like, and with that there are different other functions like recruitment process, selection, training, development, promotion and performance appraisal of these workforce. So these are some of the steps or some of the functions which are to be done in the process of staffing. Now second is need and importance of staffing. That means why we require this staffing. First is filling the roles by obtaining competent personnel. That means the first importance or first requirement of this staffing function is just to fill the roles, fill the jobs of the vacant places. Whatever vacant places are there in their firm or enterprises, they need to fill the people with that. That is personnel. Personnel means employees. So proper staffing helps in discovering and obtaining competent personnel for various jobs. That means if staffing is done properly, that is finding the or searching the right person for the right job and who is having right qualification, proper qualification, who is very much efficient in doing the or performing the work. So first task is over, where when you select a right person for the or a competent or able person for the staffing or for the purpose of your fulfillment of your goals, you discover and obtain a competent person, it is more than enough. Then second is placing the right person at the right job. After recruitment, after selecting that particular employee, you need to fill or you need to appoint him at a right place, that is giving him or providing or assigning him right job only. Proper staffing ensures higher performance by putting right person on the right job. That means if you have selected a wrong person for the particular job, he may not be doing justice to the work, he may not be doing the work properly, and because of which your results, your objectives will be hampered. You cannot finish or complete those objectives. Third is growth of enterprises. That means for proper growth of enterprises, for the development of the enterprises and for fulfilling all the aims or goals for better gain and profit, you must ensure that proper staffing you have. That means you have good, right, efficient employees with you. So proper staffing ensures continuous survival and growth of the enterprises. That means if staffing is done properly, then it ensures the continuous survival of the business, continuous flow of profit in the business and better for expansion of the business. Fourth is optimum utilization of human resources. That means human resource can be utilized properly. Properly means fully they can be utilized, and these human resources are employees only. If you assign a right person for the right job who is having a right qualification, then he will do work very effectively, and with that you can utilize his efficiency, his ability and capacity properly for the sake of your fulfilling your aims or objective of the organization. So it prevents underutilization of person and high labor costs. And when you ensure that you are taking a proper staff, so it prevents underutilization. That means no such employees or no such workforce are underutilized, that means they are not utilized properly, or they are not, they will be sure that a high labor cost they should not be given to the employees. Fifth is helps in competing. When we say competing means having competition. When you have a proper staff, good staff, then it helps you people to, or helps the businessmen to compete with other companies or with the other staff. So two organizations can easily acquire same type of physical and financial. That means if there are two organizations or more than two organizations, they can have same physical structure, financial resources can be same, but what helps actually or what matters important is that what kind of staff they have, that means how much efficient staff they have, and what helps organization to win over the other is the efficient staff. If they have good staff, efficient staff, they will be much able to gain more and more profit in comparison to the other organizations. The organization with efficient staff can easily win over their competitors. That means in market they can have, a company can have more competitors. So it can be, if they have better staff, these staff who are giving their efficiency, who are using their intelligence properly, who are working hard, who are making better efforts. So with that support of these staff, they can win over their competitors properly. Then sixth is improves job satisfaction. Staffing function does not end only with appointment. That means it is just not the process of recruitment and selection of the, and putting a right person at the right job only. All the activities like training, promotion, compensation, etc., which is required or which is actually helping in motivating the employees, motivating the staff, and to boost up their confidence or morale of the employees. If these employees are satisfied with their job, they will work more, do more hard work, they will work effortlessly, okay, with full efforts. Now the process of staffing, next topic is estimating manpower requirement, recruitment, selection from among the applicants, placement and orientation, training and development, and performance appraisal. Now we will do one by one. Starting with estimating manpower requirement. Now it is very important, or it is very much required for an enterprise to estimate how much human resources they require. That means how many employees actually they require, that is manpower. So it begins with the estimation of manpower. They need to calculate that they require how many employees, 20, 40, 200, or how many employees they require actually. So finding out number and type of employees needed by the organization. Then along with that, they need to calculate how many employees and what kind or what type of employees they require in near future also. So here type means what should be the qualification. Basically here type means what should be the qualification or educational eligibility of those employees and educational background of those people whom they are hiring for the job. So it involves the following workout. First is workload analysis. That means first they need to estimate or calculate that how much workload we have, that is making inquiry of current human resource in terms of qualification, that is whatever human resource or whatever employees they are hiring, they need to take care, they need to make comparison in terms of their qualification, whether they can do the work or not, their training they need to take care, and the skills which they have. So after seeing all these aspects, that is their qualification, how much trained they are, how much skillful they are, they will actually hire those employees only. Second is workforce analysis. It means analyzing existing workforce. That means whatever existing workforce are there or employees already occupying the job position. That means there may be certain job positions which are already occupied by certain employees, and how many of them are overburdened. That means with these existing employees, maybe such existing employees or permanent employees are overburdened with their work. So to stress out, so to reduce their burden, so to reduce their stress, the company can hire one extra employee who can actually share their work. Okay, so they need to see there whether the workers are overburdened or underburdened. Both the aspects they need to see. Then third is comparison of both to find out the requirement. That means comparison of overburden as well as underburden staff. Then they need to calculate or estimate that how many employees they actually require. The manager compares the both as those employees who have excess of work load over, workload indicated overstaffing, and you need to remove or transfer some employees. And in this particular process, the enterprise need to, or the managers need to see that they need to have transfers, promotions or shift of the workforce from one department to another also. Second is placement and orientation. After finishing the first thing, they need to give them a particular place, particular job position, or providing them certain department. So when a new employee reports for duty, he is to be placed on certain job. That means he is to be given certain post or a department for which he is best suited. That means right person at right job. So placement is very important process, as it can ensure a right person on the right job. Orientation or induction is concerned with the process of introducing a new employees. So the process which says that you are wanted to introduce your new employee to the existing employees, that is the process of induction or orientation, which should be done by the manager. The new employees are familiar. Then after introduction of the new employees, these new employees are made familiar with the other staff, with the day-to-day routine and workout of their own units or departments. Supervisors and fellow employees, who are their superiors, who are their subordinates and fellow employees, they must be familiar with them. They are also to be informed about working hours. Then during this process only of placement and orientation, these new employees are informed about the working hours, that how many work they need to bear or have, and how many medical facilities are provided to them, the history and geography of organization, the leave procedure, that means if they wanted to avail the leave, casual leave, so what is the procedure for that, and everything, rules, regulation, procedure, working hours, everything must be mentioned or informed in advance during this placement and orientation, and of course about their salary or wages. Third is training and development. That means after placement and orientation, you have put a right person for the right job. You have informed everything related to his job and about the organization. Now after this, you need to send him or you need to give him proper training for the development of that particular employee, for the better capacity of that employee, so he can improve his efficiency and give a hard work or good work to the organization. So systematic training helps in increasing the skills. That means when a manager or when a enterprise is providing them training to the new employees, it enhances their skills. It enhances or increases their ability and capacity to perform well. Knowledge of employees will be improved in doing their jobs through various methods. Now he will apply various creative skills after the training to perform that job in a better way. Then development involves growth of an employee. When the employee is developed, that means there is a growth of an employee also in all respects, that means in all the aspects. It is the process by which the employees acquire skill. This is the process by which he acquires certain skill of doing the work. That is how, what kind of method or what kind of technique he can use for doing that work properly in a better way. He learns so during the training. It will increase his job capabilities, his ability for doing higher jobs in future also. Then after that we have performance appraisal. When we say performance appraisal means whatever performance they have, it need to be appraised, it need to be appreciated. So it is concerned with rating or evaluating the performance. Evaluating means checking the performance of employees against some standard. That means these employees, they have been given a criteria and their standards, their way of doing work must be checked against certain set standards. So the standards are made known to employees in advance. These standards are nothing but certain criteria of having the work, certain criteria of doing the work, which is everything set by the employers itself. So these employees are being told or are being informed about such kind of standards, that these new employees must achieve these standards of doing the work. Superiors prepare a feedback, and after these set of standards, now the employees will have to strive hard, struggle hard to at least achieve those standards. After that, superiors prepare a feedback report of the working of this particular employees on the basis of their performance appraisal transfers, and for this feedback report, the superiors are constantly supervising and monitoring these employees while doing their work. Whenever they are in the working hours, these employees are being watched, supervised and monitored by or observed by the superiors. Transfers, promotions and compensation of the staff are based on performance appraisal. That means whatever transfers which are taken place, promotions which are done, okay, shifting of from one department to another, everything will take place in this performance appraisal only. Now there are some components or elements of these staffing. That means after the procedure of staffing, we are moving to elements of staffing, which comprises of recruitment, selection and training. Now we will do this one by one. First is recruitment. When we say recruitment, means just calling out the people for the particular job. And you can do so, or recruitment may be defined as the process of searching for prospective employees. That means whatever employees you required, you are searching for those employees and stimulating them, that is influencing them to apply for the jobs in their organization. So just this process, which is recruitment. Sources of recruitment can be internal as well as external sources of recruitment. The internal sources of recruitment means you are finding the candidates in your own organization. They are already the existing employees of your organizations. So you just need to shift those people on the basis of transfers, promotions and shifting of one department to another, shifting of one employee from one department or unit to another one. So internal sources requires inviting candidates from within the organization only. Following are important sources of internal recruitment. Transfers, it involves the shifting of an employee from one job to another, from one department to another, or from one shift to another. So this shifting or transfer takes place within the organization. So these are internal source of recruitment. Second is promotion. It refers to shifting of an employee. If the employee is doing better work, so he can be shifted or promoted to a higher position or higher job, carrying higher responsibilities. Third is layoff. Layoff means those employees which were temporary, those employees which are not there, who left the firm, or if you have lay off those employees because of you have less work, okay. So to recall the temporary, just to call again those temporary workers for work is called layoff, who were temporarily separated from the organization due to lack of work. So you can again call back those people. Then advantages of this internal source of recruitment is employees are motivated to improve their performance because of this internal source of recruitment, where you are searching the candidates from your own organization. So when you search those employees, they are well motivated, okay, they will do work properly. Why? Because they will always feel that we will be promoted or we will be transferred to certain other department which is better for us. So the employees are highly motivated because of this. Second is internal recruitment also simplifies the process of selection and placement. Now whatever the process is, that is of selection and placement, which is a time consuming process. So because of this internal recruitment, it helps a lot to not to have wastage of time, to minimize the time. So no wastage of time on the employees' training and development. Why? Because these employees are already given certain training and already are better in their work. So no amount or no expenses will be there on training and development. So this is one of the advantage of internal source of recruitment, and filling of jobs internally is very cheaper for the firm. But there are certain limitation or disadvantages of this recruitment process. The scope for induction, that induction here means when you are introducing new employees of fresh talent, is reduced. That means these new employees will not be motivated, these new employees will not be introduced, or orientation process will not be done. Why? Because you are searching the candidate from your internal organization only. Second, the employee may become lethargic. Employees are existing employees only. When you shift those people through promotion, transfer or layoff, so these employees, it is they are familiar with the organization, so it has become a lethargic process. Lazy, they become very lazy. This is one of the drawback. The spirit of competition among the employees will be very less and it will be hampered. Why? Because each and every employee knows that we can be promoted or we can be transferred. So because of this internal source of recruitment, the spirit of competition will be very less, because they all are familiar with each other's capacity. then frequent transfers of employees may often reduce the productivity, and frequently all now and then if they are transferring from one department to another, one unit or one division from one to another, so it reduces their productivity because they can't focus on particular work and then you shift them from one department to another. So focus will not be there, and because of which it will reduce their efforts, reduce their efficiency also. Now second is external sources of recruitment. So like internal source, there are external source when the company is depending on the outside world for recruiting the people. So when the candidates from outside the organization are invited to fill the vacant job position, then it is known as external recruitment. The common methods of external sources of recruitments are: first, direct recruitment. That means if you are recruiting the person directly, under the direct recruitment, a notice is placed on the notice board. Under this, a notice is being placed on the notice board of the enterprises specifying the details. That means it can be in the form of a chart or a piece of paper. They have written everything that this particular place is vacant and we require such and such personnel for our this particular job. Second can be casual callers. That means casually somebody is calling you. Like many reputed business organizations keep a database of all unsolicited applicants. That means they keep a record of all those employees or all those about to be employees who are unemployed, who are having certain specialization and qualifications. So they can be called casually through their office, and the list can be used for recruitment. Third is advertisement. That means on media, that is through newspapers, internet, radio, television, newspapers, through which if you are advertising for the vacant place in your company. So this is also one of the external source of recruitment. Fourth is employment exchange. That is employment exchange office is there wherever is regarded as a good source of recruitment for unskilled and skilled operative jobs. That means for all unskilled as well as skilled operative jobs. This particular employment exchange office is the best means for external source of recruitment. Fifth is campus recruitment. When we say campus recruitment, means all those eligible candidates who are actually going on with their studies as they completed this, and labor contracts are also there, can be used for the purpose of external sources of recruitment. Now there are some merits of this external sources of recruitment. The first is qualified personnel. That means what is the good advantage of this external source of recruitment? That you will get all qualified people only. You will not get unqualified people. By using external source of recruitment, the management can attract well qualified people and train people to apply for such and such post in their organization. Second is wider choice. That means when you are calling people from outside world, you have a wide choice in comparison to internal source of recruitment. So the management has a wider choice in selecting the people for employment. And third is fresh talent. That means, as I said, that orientation process could be done here. New employees can be attracted. New employees will come. They will have new ideas, new skills, better creativity. So fresh talent can be invited through external source of recruitment. It provides wider choice and brings new blood in the organization who can do much benefit to the organization. Fourth is competitive spirit. If a company taps external sources, that means if the company is contacting or collecting employees or recruiting employees from external sources, then there can be better competition among all those recruitees. So there will be better competition. Out of that, one best one will be selected. So it will be in the favor of the company only. But there are some limitations or drawbacks of this external source of recruitment. First is dissatisfaction among existing employees. That means whatever existing employees are there, they will be dissatisfied when you call fresh talent, when you call new employees who are better skilled than them. So they will have a feeling of jealous, grudges, okay. So dissatisfaction will be there, as recruitment from outside may cause dissatisfaction among the existing employees. They may feel that their chances of promotion are now reduced. Why? Because the company has called for new employees. Second is, it's a costly process. That means, as I said, in comparison to internal source of recruitment, the process of recruitment, selection, placement, orientation, training and development, everything involves a huge cost. So this can be a costly affair. A lot of money has to be spent on advertisement, Thereafter, this is particular process is very costly. Then third is lengthy process. It takes much time. When you call, when you put an advertisement, when you are having a casual calls, and for all these activities related to recruiting the people, the process is very lengthy till when you find a better person for your job. So this is all about today's video. Dear students, go through the videos properly. Until then, thank you. Goodbye.